Welcome to the Clause YouTube channel.
Together, we strive for a safer, secure, and more stable world.
Welcome to the Clause podcast series. And this time we have a very interesting subject. We are talking of something very unusual, which is the Indus Water Treaty, but on the Afghanistan side. Very few people are aware that the the Kabul River contributes a lot of water, I think about 21 million plus to the Indus water system. So it is actually part of the Indus River basin, the works. So this is something which over the years, Afghanistan is actually the country with the least amount of storage in the world. It has no water storage. It has known nothing since the 1960s until India stepped in to help it with dams, etc., with the Salma Dam. And we also now we're looking at the Shatut Dam, which was, of course, temporarily suspended. Now our joint secretary was there in Afghanistan. We are offering aid across, not just on the dams. We are offering to renew the programs which we had with Afghanistan, which was, I think, about 1.3 billion. So that should ideally include water, because Kabul has no water. It desperately needs some kind of, not just in electricity generation, the work. So apart from the Indus Water Treaty, which we know has been held in abeyance by India, why? Not just because of Pahalgam, but because of years and years of these people troubling us on the Indus Water Treaty with the aim of delaying every single project. And the irony is, then just in passing, if I can mention, that many of the features which they objected to on our side, in our dams, they incorporated into theirs. In terms of so many things, but we'll come to that later. What I have with me, my guest, is Major General Chaturvedi, who is a known expert on the whole Indus Water Treaty system. He has a book on the subject, Water as a Source of Future Conflicts. He's an engineer. He's an alumni from IIT Madras. So what more could you possibly ask for? So you have here a person who can give us the background to why Kabul, separately from all the India-Pakistan things, needs our help in storage, in producing electricity, and how it's going to affect Pakistan. General, can you take it away?
Thank you, Dr. Kata, and to you and to all the viewers of this podcast, a very, very good evening. You have touched a very interesting topic. Let me just say it I have been a student of this water systems in, say, Indian subcontinent. I'd like to call it instead of South Asia. The reason is these resources are absolutely monolithic. One thing more I would like to show, which is a flaw in the Indus Water Treaty. When the treaty was negotiated, it was only about those rivers which are from the east. That is, starting with Indus, of course, is a main river. Then Jhelum, Chenab, then coming down to Satluj, Ravi, and Bias. These are the rivers which were considered. But almost 7% of Indus basin is in Afghanistan. And there are a large number of rivers from west. Kabul is the main river, which is, as you had mentioned, that almost 22 MAF of water comes into this, atop it joins Kabul. In Kabul, the main water is from a river called Kunar. And Kunar actually originating in Pakistan. It is in Pakistan known as Chitral River. When it goes into Afghanistan. And the main water as a maximum quantity of water in Kabul River is from Kunar River. Now, the two things you have mentioned, that Afghanistan does not have a storage capacity. Yes, it is. So when the previous regime, prior to arrival of Taliban, it was discussed between India and Afghanistan Then it was decided that on all the rivers which are the tributaries of Kabul, 12 dams would be constructed. One of them is Shatu Dam, which is on a river called Maidan River. And likewise, Kunar River, this water is there. But in 2021, when Taliban came, the project on Shatu Dam, which is on Maidan River, was stopped. But recently, I think as late as day before yesterday, one Taliban minister went to Kunar River and he says, we must make a dam on it. Now, in case if Afghanistan makes a dam on Kunar River, the lot of water which is coming into at Abbottabad when Kabul joins Indus will be stopped. Now, the problem areas are little different. One major problem area is that there's a UN convention on trans-border rivers, which is called UN Convention 1997. As per that, the upper and lower riparian have got equal rights. So now the Chitral water goes to Pakistan, say Afghanistan becomes lower riparian, Pakistan is upper riparian. But Pakistan is doing nothing on Chitral River. So if lower riparian is being, how can you stop him? Similarly, this Swat River, if the dam is made on that, with Naushera, there is a place called Naushera and Swat River, it will give a lot of electricity to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Nothing of that kind Pakistan is. So Pakistan, I don't know, they are living in a kind of a state of indifference. So neither they cared for, and as far as the treaty is concerned, it's not only Afghanistan is not a member of UN Convention, Pakistan is also not a member of UN Convention. So Pakistan cannot blame Afghanistan if Afghanistan says, no, I will make the dam on Kunar River.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay, that I certainly did not know. I am also told that the Kunar River has also a source of huge flooding in Afghanistan. And it is got a lot of problems. So they really have no option but to create some kind of a project which will control the flooding.
The entire valley is quite dry. And Afghanistan needs water and water storage. And unless you create a water storage, because of this climate change which is taking place, problem has become very, very acute. All these countries, be it Afghanistan, be it Pakistan, be it India. Because even you look at Afghanistan, as you said very rightly, does not have any, except now Salma Dam India had made. And taking analogy from Salma Dam, Taliban is now very, very keen that India takes on all those 12 projects which India had planned earlier. Now, Pakistan also have already, sorry?
What do you think Pakistan's reaction is going to be? I'm told even Russia has now been approached for a dam in Ghazni. So,
yes.
I mean, I can pretty much understand what Pakistan, they have what I would call the lower riparian anxiety complex.
Yes, all with India also they are lower riparian, and also with Afghanistan they are lower riparian. So
yeah, but this anxiety complex is preventing cooperation between countries. So here, in terms of if we were, and I understand we are going to go in for those dams with Afghanistan, doesn't it? And I am 100% sure Pakistan is going to raise Cain, especially since the Indus Water Treaty is now in quote unquote in abeyance. How do you see this going forward?
There is another interesting part which Pakistan is trying to take a plea. This SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, which were initiated in 2015, the sixth SDG says that potable water and sanitation, these are human rights. So Pakistan is trying to say that if you steal my water, what will I do? But look at their doublespeak. They speak not a word against China, which is stealing of water. I mean, on Indus, there is a dam which has come up in Nagari. So China is stealing water is no issue for them. but they keep blaming India that you are stopping my water. India is not stopping. Pakistan has got just 30 days of water holding capacity.
Oh my
If
God,
you
that is practically nothing. 30 days. I mean, in that we've been seeing videos of, the the water's drying up, Punjab is without water. In my understanding is that a lot of this, and this applies equally to any project from Afghanistan, is because the IRSA, their own Indus River Systems Authority, has done nothing in terms of desilting, nothing in terms of keeping the canals clear, and of course there is the whole overwhelming debate that all water has to come to Punjab first. So how do you see the IRSA probably reacting to this? Can we even persuade them that this could be beneficial for them? Like, we'll come to that later, but how do you think they're going to react to this news? It's already across the Pakistani space that India is building 12 dams. They don't mention Russia at all. But in practical terms, how do we go ahead with this?
this if water does not reach adequate water does not reach in Indus, what has happened? A very interesting thing has happened because of less water in Indus for various reasons. The number of canals which have come up, they have been holding on to, say, Kalabog Dam and all those things. Now, what is that estuary is moving into it. So, lower portion of almost 87 kilometers of Indus is water is saline.
Oh.
And that is their main, that sucker belt is the bowl is their main rice bowl. So it is going to impact their food security. Now, what Pakistan is quite good at doing, Mongla had this, Tarbela had, Mongla, they had, both were silted. So instead of desilting, they raised the height of Mongla, and so that a lot of people in POK became displaced persons. And to top it all, when they asked for compensation, they said, since you are not part of us and you are not part of the Indus Water Treaty, we'll give you nothing.
Oh my goodness.
The water usage charge, 1/7 they give to POK people as against their own people.
Oh my
And then
God.
there is no consensus within Pakistan. Kalabog Dam, as and when it gets completed, the reservoir would be in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Who says, यार क्या अच्छे भले आदमी हमारी जान ले रहे हो, तुम्हारा, you are removing our land, and Indus says you are stealing our water. So that is also not going through. Bhasa Demar initially it was not coming through because Pakistan did not have money. So what they did, they roped in China. China does nothing for the gratis. So they said, okay, the power generated would be taken to Xinjiang. So now, Pakistan has got then its own issues of problems. And there are lot of other things.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a minute. I was just wondering the Shatut Dam, which we had proposed in, like you said correctly, the Taliban, then now they're showing interest in reviving it. Will that affect the water which is going to Pakistan?
Yes. Now, every drop will, because Kabul on its own does not have much of water. The major source of water in is all these tributaries of Kabul. So they are the main source of water into Kabul. So Shatut Dam, it comes, all the 11 other dams when they come up, Ghazni, then on river, on Kunar, the bridge they are planning, upstream of Jalalabad and all those things. All these things will definitely impact water availability at Atap. So Pakistan is quite tense on that.
But there's a slight, what shall I say, a problem here. I know Prime Minister of India has said that it is not our intention to hurt the people of Pakistan. Our problem is with the Pakistan army. Now, this abeyance is, we've been forced into it because these people kept on, delaying. You know how many years each of these projects have been delayed. Sedimentation has occurred. So in this sort of thing, do we want to really hurt the Pashtuns? And we're talking of a dam on the Kunar River. Can
No.
we consider a project where we can share electricity with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and make that offer? If because they are a people who have been subjugated by the Pakistan state. They are a people who have been seen, they are treated with such racial profiling. I think those people have had enough. So, is it something that they would even welcome if we say, okay, we can fund this dam and it's good for you?
Actually, in India, the problem is because of the lack of knowledge and some people making some outlandish statement. We'll stop every drop of water. You can't. If you stop every drop of water, the entire valley in a year would be under 7 meters of water. Can you do it? Or you will have to make 30 dams of the size of Terry dams to get that water. Can you do it? No, you can't. So what India has been doing it, we have made use of the actually. Let's go back slightly. The Vienna Convention on Treaties, the 62 section, very clearly stipulates that treaties are not to be abrogated, but under a very, very special circumstances. So what happened? India in 2023 gave a notice to Pakistan to say modify the treaty. They did not agree. In 24, again they went. India again told them in September 2024 that we want to renegotiate the treaty or modify the treaty. Pakistan just ignored it. Now, with all these things, expecting Pakistan to do anything which is its, let's go back to one statement of Jinnah, very interesting statement he made. When it was told that the two major headworks, that is Madhopur and Firozpur, will be in India. And what are coming to Pakistan, and we are the main beneficiary. So he is believed to have said, not exactly, I don't remember the exact quote, but the words to the effect that I would rather have a deserted Pakistan than to have fertile Pakistan with the support of Hindus.
Oh my
Now,
God.
if you are working on that kind of a mindset, you are digging your own grave. You are doing nothing good for yourself. They have not taken care of Gilgit people, Gilgit-Baltistan people. They have not taken care of Sindh people. They have not taken care of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa of Pathan people. So what are they doing? They are trying to make everything like, again, I'll give you an example that Pakistan's the kind of a self-centeredness. They made this Neelam Jhelum project. Now, what they are doing, that bringing the water from Kishan Ganga to Jhelum via tunnel. And in the bargain, they are bypassing Muzaffarabad.
Oh, right. Okay.
So look at
Okay.
this. This is what has been there. That water usage charges. They said, okay, their own province will get 1 rupee, and these POK and Gilgit Baltistan will get 1/7 of it. There is a logic and rationale. Pakistan, we don't believe.
Even if we were to offer a dam, which, I mean, in the future, not right now, because the Indus Water Treaty, blah, blah. Even if we were to offer a dam which would provide electricity to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the central government would be completely disinterested because they're not interested in these people, right? I mean, that is what I get from you. So, in this context, I'm just wondering, given the indifference of the center to the provinces, not just Gilgit Baltistan and POK, but also to Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, how, I mean, any effort by us to build up dams in Afghanistan is going to be taken like a war cry, though it is completely misplaced. They have the option of cooperation, but they won't take it. What I call again the anxiety complex of a riparian state. So, if I think we should go ahead with this, and for the good of Pakistan, they could then we go ahead with Russia because 100% they're going to launch terrorist attacks if we sort of start any kind of dams. So, do you think it's worthwhile to go into these projects with another country, like say Russia? If Russia is going in with Ghazni, you can do a joint project with them. That makes their position far more tricky. Do you think that's a good idea?
Absolutely a good idea. Just to add to what you are saying, this will be a nice way to show the mirror to Pakistani people to know who is their, say, benefactors. On one side, Munir on 18th June in America, he gives a statement that we will take revenge of 1971 by dismembering India. Look at this. This is the psychology of Pakistan army. Whereas, say, someone who's, I mean, I won't say it in so many, but someone of your stature, when it mentions that we must make a dam in such a way in Afghanistan that we offer as a part of Afghanistan Pakistan cooperation to their people, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa people, that we care for you. So we will give you electricity from this. It is the terminal is here. If you want to draw this electricity, you can draw. Otherwise, just that's
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a brilliant way to go. Yes,
we
absolutely.
need to do this kind of a thing with Gilgit Baltistan, with Sindh. Everywhere we must do this kind of thing because as far as Pakistan is concerned, it is the most irresponsible. I'll just give you another example of how indifferent they are. When the salinity in Indus took place, they make something called left bank outflow canal. So now what they were trying to do to reduce to take out the saline water and to take out the salinity, and they started discharging this water into Kutch without even informing us.
Oh my
So they are
goodness.
totally indifferent to the whole thing. They have made most of their canal system. They got money. They got good money to build infrastructure on Western River. But most of the rivers, other than those which are for defense, they're not lined. Unlined river.
And we paid them 60 million, right? During Indus Water Treaty, we negotiated the treaty and paid
Yes.
them money to build canals. That was about 60 million.
But
In this context, General, I want to ask you something.
and
Given
it was
that,
not dollar. By the way, it was pound sterling. So you can just imagine.
right. Oh my God, that is a lot of money. You gave them 80% of the water and then gave them 60 million pounds sterling. I mean, this is a treaty with no exit clause, no chance, no clause for revision. I don't know who drafted this treaty, but given this
I tell
India,
you, let us just this interesting point you have raised. Who there was a gentleman called David Lilienthal. David
oh yeah,
Lilienthal,
uh,
earlier
uh,
the chairman of Atomic Energy Commission of US and Tennessee Corporation, and that time the predecessor of World Bank was International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. The head of that was one gentleman called Eugene Black. In 1954, Pakistan joined SEATO and CENTO. So they totally became a US ally. Now, that is how that from 54, say 51 onwards, then the parley started. These two gentlemen started trying to say, ki, bhai, we must take care of Pakistan and all those things. And that's all 60. And that time our economy was not in the best of shape because we were still we are following a different kind of a path in our economic recovery and all those things post partition. So I think we were kind of forced into this treaty, and we shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have done it. This was one of the most unbalanced treaty we ever went into.
absolutely. Can I just take on a few questions here because there's a lot of questions we are getting. And but the one thing I want to ask you is, given, I mean, if I can just take a couple of minutes, given the fact that we've had this terrible relationship with Pakistan on Indus Water, I wouldn't want Afghanistan to go through that same, kind of squabbling with Pakistan. So does it make sense to bring Afghanistan into the Indus Water Treaty if we are going to renegotiate it? That's a given.
Absolutely. The 60% of the Indus River Basin is with Pakistan and POK put together. 22% is with India and 7% is with Afghanistan. 10% is with China. So what my point is that if you include China into it, then the scope would become very large. So we must restrict it to India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Now you look at what India tried to help them. In 1947 also we went for a standstill agreement and we said, okay, till 48 you decide for the treaty and we will not stop your water. In May 48, again we had that another treaty, the Delhi Declaration, that we said that till you decide the treaty, we'll keep you water, but you will have to pay for it. Neither they paid, but then in 1960 the treaty was done. So we have gone, in fact, we have gone overboard to help them.
Yes, we've gone over and above. In
They
fact,
have taken it over their right.
even after Pulwama, we continue to share data with them. I mean, we've gone overboard in cooperating and making this treaty. And I would, really go with people who say, oh, this treaty has stood the test of time, etc., etc. There comes a time when you have to say enough is enough. And in this, I
By
think
the way, very interesting thing. There is no other water sharing treaty in the world. Tell me which is that treaty.
Okay.
It is India's large-heartedness which has given this. There's no other country.
I mean, I'm very happy that we were that generous, but I think it's time to stop. There is a question here whether if the IWT is in abeyance, if we were to take a fair share of water, it would result in, de-desertification of Rajasthan and other dry patches. So it is really to our interest to, look after our country first, isn't it? Rather than, give Pakistan a share of water, but, there it is. We need our share of water. The times are changing, climate change. Pakistan has the option of cooperating with us. If it doesn't take that option, well, we use the water for ourselves. That's
Absolutely,
a question.
absolutely. And in this case, there are 2-3 interesting projects. And first, we'll say our indifference. There are about, say, 5 rivers downstream of Madhopur: Basantar, Bean, Tarna, Uch, and Deva. The total water from these rivers which was going into Pakistan was almost 2 million acres. Now, when we made Shapur Kandi, we stopped substantially, but still a lot of water is going. We are giving water to Pakistan. Pakistan is not making use of it. They are filling it their DCBs, and we are buying tanks to cross them. So therefore, this Uj multi-purpose project and second Ravi Byas link, these are essential. That in case if we create that, the lot of water we will be able to bring into the dry patches of, say, a district like Kathua, Sama, and all that area. The lot of water will come. And the plan is, for which the feasibility is being worked out, is that from Chenab, connecting it to Byas, and taking this water to Indus, say, Indira Gandhi Canal. So the lower reaches of Himachal, Punjab, dry patches of J&K, and Rajasthan, all would be benefited. And I think we must do it. We must do it. And there is no question of not doing it.
There is, you said the waters from, there is a question here, Jack, in and out of the box has this question about the water coming in from Afghanistan to Indus, which you said was 21 million plus, right? It's a huge...
22 BCM, billion cubic meters.
That's a lot of water which is coming in, and a lot of people are not aware of this. And I think it's far more than what is actually coming in from the Indus. So it's we can, so in a sense, what we're saying is that If we were to build dams on Afghanistan, it would have a huge impact on Pakistan. Pakistan has the option of cooperating and building it together with us, or it can stay out and be in this anxiety disorder state.
And interesting part, this will also help in terms of geopolitics.
Yes.
Pakistan keeps tom-tomming that Afghanistan are a strategic depth. There'll be no
Yes.
depth. There'll be no depth.
No, but if it's finally, it is up to, it should be up to the people to decide. Hey, we want water, we need to cooperate. I mean, this can actually become a platform for cooperation between all three states. But it's the question is whether the Pakistan army will allow that. The people would, because their livelihoods depend on this water. But the question
My
is, as long
suggestion,
as
my very interesting suggestion, Dr. Tarak Artha, I'll give you. You ask Claus to organize a seminar where you invite people from Gilgit-Baltistan.
yes,
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa you can't because they are Pakistan. But Gilgit-Baltistan, which technically are your own people.
Gee.
And second is that Western districts of Punjab, POK, from where this Chenab goes. Now, with this kind of a thing, if you do it, it will be a way to tell them that you all are not doing enough. So we are going with India. So that would be a very good idea to wean away them from Pakistan.
Okay, I am going to close this here now. And thank you so much, General Chaturvedi. This has been a fascinating discussion. So let's see what comes of this. If it comes through, it's going to be a game changer. So thank you so much for all listening in. Thank you for your questions. And good evening.
One point, this is the entire Sindhur's, whatever has been done, that was even not even 10% of what Indus Water Treaty abrogation, abeyance alone can do it. This we must remember.
Absolutely. Sindhur was short term. This could finish off Pakistan's agriculture and this whole, his
And
whole
they depend
cycle.
almost 80% on agriculture.
So let's
And
see.
some other time let's discuss Pakistan's problem.
I'll take up your suggestion on this, and I hope Claus DG, who is here, we will take up this offer and we will take this forward. Thank you all so much for listening in. Goodbye, and thanks again.